Good morning, fourth graders. Welcome back to language class. Are you having a good day or are you having a bad day? Oh, I hope it's the first one. I hope you're having a good day today. Today in language, we're talking about good versus bad. But in what I like to do is I like to spend more of my time talking about the good things. So that's what we're going to do today. Let's go ahead and get out our language book and a pencil and open up to page 249. We'll get to that page in just a little bit. Well, if I were to say, are you having a good day or are you having a well day, would you know which one of those two words to choose? Maybe so. But oftentimes in our English language, good and well are used interchangeably when actually there's a right time to use good and there's a right time to use well. And that's what I want to spend the majority of our lesson talking about today. Good and well. Let's take a look at this cloud that I have right here. Good describes nouns. Remember what a noun names? A noun names a person, a place, a thing, or an idea. So good is always going to describe a noun. You're having a good day. I hope you're being a good student. You live in a good house. We are blessed to have a good country. We serve a good God. All of those nouns were being described by the word good. Let's contrast that to the word well. Well always describes a verb. Remember what verbs are? Verbs are words that we can do. You can play well. You can write well. You can maybe swim well or practice well. The things that you do, I hope you learn how to do them well. Well is always going to describe a verb, unless you're talking about how someone's health is. Oh, are they feeling well today? Maybe they've been sick prior. So well could also be talking about how a person is feeling health-wise. But typically, well will always be describing a verb. Do you remember what we call words that describe a verb? An adverb, that's right. So the word well will be acting like an adverb. Do you remember what we call words that describe nouns? Adjectives. So good is going to be an adjective that describes nouns. Now, let's look at the sentences that I have on the board today. Number one, Abby is a good dog. Abby is a good dog. I would never say Abby is a well dog, but I could say she's a good dog. Good is describing what type of dog she is. She's a good dog. Remember, good describes nouns. The noun here is dog. Let's look at the next sentence. She obeys commands very well. Remember, well is an adverb and it tells how you do something. How is she obeying? She's obeying well. Well describes a verb, obeys. Oftentimes, I like to remember these two sentences to help me remember that good describes nouns and well describes verbs. Look at the sentence that I have, the two sentences that are in this box here. Good job. Well done. Let's examine this a little more closely. Job is a noun. That means good is an adjective describing this noun job. Well is an adverb. It's describing how you are doing something. You have done it well. Good describes nouns. Well describes verbs. Well, I bet you're wondering what these last groups of things are down below. I thought you were curious. Okay, so for the past couple of lessons, we've been talking about comparing things. Remember, 2 things with ER, 3 or more things with EST, or if we're having longer words, we're going to replace the ER with a more, or the EST with a most. When you are comparing with good versus bad, you'll follow these comparing words. Let's look at those together. Good and well will become better. Oh, I had a better day today than yesterday. Or, how are you feeling? I'm feeling better. Or, 3 or more, this is the best day ever. Or, I'm feeling the best I've ever felt. So, good and well will both have better when you're comparing two things. Best, 3 or more. Hey, and look, it even ends with EST, and this ends with an ER. Just like for our lessons from last week. Let's contrast that to bad and badly. Just how good is an adjective here, and well is an adverb. Bad is the adjective. Badly is the adverb. Remember our trick for that? Words that end in ly are often those adverbs. Bad or badly, if we're comparing that with 2 or more things, worse. How are you feeling? I'm feeling worse today than I did yesterday. Oh no, you're comparing today and yesterday. Or 3 or more things. This is the worst day of my life. Oh my goodness, talking about out of all the days that you've lived, this is the worst one. I hope not. If not, let me know. I need to pray for you. I pray for you anyways every day. Let's take a look. Just how best ends with an EST. This one doesn't end with an EST, but it does end with an ST, so maybe we can remember that. Add that to help us. This one does have an RE, but it's kind of flipped around a little bit. So today, good versus well. Let's review. Good describes nouns. Well describes verbs. Their different forms are better, best, worse, worst. Okay, I hope you have your language book out and open. Let's go ahead and get started this morning by looking at the top of that page together. Special forms for good and bad. I just put good versus bad on the board just for a shortcut. But let's take a look at that yellow box. Remember, anytime we see a yellow box, it's kind of like a caution sign saying, I'm important, I'm important. The words good and well are often confused in sentences. Good is always used as an adjective. Well is an adverb, unless it's talking about someone's health. Let's look at those green and the orangish box. Good, better, best. Can you say that with me? Good, better, best. Let's go down to the next row. Bad, worse, worst. Say that again. Bad, worse, worst. Notice how these are going to match those as well as those will match. That's why on the board I just kind of merged them together into one, okay? So good and bad, well and badly. Let's say those together, starting at well. Well, better, best. Let's say that again. Well, better, best. Go down to the last one. Badly, worse, worst. Badly, worse, worst. Remember, badly is the adverb because it ends with an ly, okay? Let's look at this guided practice together. Write good or well to complete each sentence. Dr. White is a blank doctor. Now let's stop and think for a minute. Is whatever's in the blank describing a noun or is it describing a verb? Well, it's describing doctor, and doctor is a noun. So we need an adjective to describe that noun. Will it be good or will it be well? It'll be good because remember, good always describes nouns. Number 2, he does his job blank. This answers the question how. And how is one of our adverb questions. So we know we're going to choose the adverb well. That's telling us how he is doing or accomplishing his job. Number 3, a blank surgeon is hard to find. A what kind of surgeon? Well, let's take a look at this. Surgeon is a noun, so therefore we need a word that describes a noun. The word that describes a noun here is going to be good. For the next section, you're having to make a choice. Let's underline the correct adjective. Mom makes the good or best spaghetti of anyone I know. Well, let's think about that. Do you only know 2 people? I don't think so. So I think it'd be safe to say that your mom makes the best spaghetti of anyone. Number 5, the chocolate cake is better, best than the coconut cake. How many cakes are in this sentence? 2, the chocolate and the coconut. Because we're comparing 2 things, we're going to use ER, better, not EST. Number 6, the weather is worse or worst this week than last week. How many weeks are we comparing? 2, this one to the last one. If we're comparing 2 things, let's use worse. Do you see that R and E in there? They're kind of jumbled up. Number 7, that was the bad storm we've had in years. Or that was the worst storm we've had in years. Worst. Out of all the years, I bet that's 3 or more years. Moving on to number 8, you're doing great, guys. I should say, well done. Number 8, he wrote how. How did he write? Well, the word that we're choosing here is describing this verb, wrote. What describes verbs? Adverbs. So let's choose the one that ends with an ly. He wrote badly. Number 9, Thomas ran worse or worst in the second race. How many races are we comparing or talking about? His first race and his second race. So 2 races. Worse. Once again, that RE is in there. It's just been mixed up a little. Number 10, the singer performed how in her recital? This is telling us how she is performing. So we need something that is an adverb. Well, remember well always describes verbs. And number 11, what's a volleyball sentence? Sarah likes volleyball the best or worst of all of the sports. Well, hopefully if you like something the best. The best. Okay, before I let you loose on your own, let's do just a quick review. Good always describes nouns. That means good is an adjective. Well describes verbs. That makes well an adverb. Unless you're talking about someone's health, then it'll be an adjective. The different forms of comparison with good and well and bad are good and well. They both share better, best. Better with 2 things, best with 3 or more. For bad, it will be bad for the adjective, badly for the adverb, worse comparing 2 things, worst for comparing 3 or more things. Well, I hope you had a great day. Well done. It's time for us to do even better now by turning to page 250 and try that independent practice page on your own. I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye.